Alright, today's January 28th. We are doing the first ramble in hopefully what will be a longer lasting series of rambles, either surrounding the game or the blog updates that Jagex puts out. Today we're going over Varlamore, the Final Dawn reward proposal update, and I'm just going to read it verbatim and then comment as necessary. We've refined our reward pitches for Varlamore, the Final Dawn. We're back with another update to our Varlamore The Final Dawn reward offerings. Thank you for your patience while we cooked up some new concepts. All these proposal updates can be a bit complicated, so to make it simple for you all to find the latest information, we've put together a whole new blog. We've also included all the previous information we shared, which you can find in drop-down sections scattered throughout. Let's get started with something completely new. And I guess they're announcing a weapon. We have the Earthbound Tech Pottle. We were so excited to develop our quest boss and Slayer dungeon rewards that one extra thing slipped through the net. The final Nagua weapon. So it's a brand new weapon. Just like the Shining Kingdom and the Rising Darkness, the Final Dawn brings with it a new type of Nagua. We don't want to give too much away, but we can divulge the new weapon you'll obtain from them. The Earthbound Tech Pottle. This unique twin weapon will act as the stab equivalent of the Sulphur Blades and Glacial Tamatli, completing the set. Like their equivalents, they will hit twice per attack, rolling damage normally, and splitting it across 2 hit slots. So they're essentially just rounding out the weapons. I mean, we have the stab equivalent here of the Sulphur Blades and the Glacial Hammers. So this will be fine. I don't see any reason we can't put this in. It hits twice, splitting the damage across 2 hit slots. That should be fine. I don't see this as anything crazy from what I can see. I'm sure it'll have some niche use, and that'll be that. So, nothing crazy here, but it's a nice way to kind of round out the 3 weapons with the blades and the hammers. And then next we have the Delve boss, the Eldritch Veil, tradable or untradable, cape or no cape. There's a lot of back and forth on this one, so we ended up going back to the drawing board. Yeah, the Eldritch Veil just didn't feel great. I mean, it was a tradable, essentially an Inferno cape and a quiver that was tradable for magic, which after having the Inferno and the Colosseum to get those 2 items just isn't great to have a tradable like magic equivalent. So, looks like they completely scrapped this, which is really good in my opinion. I don't see why we need a tradable best in slot mage cape. I think, kind of the theme we have with the Inferno and the Colosseum is good as is, where we have, the Inferno for the Bis melee cape and the Colosseum for the Bis range cape. So I think they have some space to kind of make something new in the future with a Bis, mage style arena wave-based system. I did like a lot of what they did with the Colosseum, where you had, not as long of a fight as the Inferno. The Inferno is great on its own. That's not to say the Inferno is bad at all, because it's a fantastic piece of content, but the Colosseum definitely feels better with only, I think it's 12 waves, if I'm remembering correctly. So it just doesn't feel as bad to die, and you can kind of exit whenever to grab your rewards and call it a day. So it definitely felt better to learn. So I think having the space and leaving that space for an eventual Bis mage cape is smart on their end. The tradable Eldritch Veil just was not what we should be going for here. I don't think it holds the integrity of the game to a good standard when, like I said, you have the melee cape and the range cape, and now you're going to suddenly put a tradable version of the best in slot mage cape on board when the other 2 aren't tradable, and you have to earn it from a very, very difficult piece of content. So it looks like they changed it to the Eldritch Necklace. This untradable accessory is an upgrade for the occult necklace and will be made by combining the tradable demonic mark drop with an occult necklace. You'll need level 65 rune crafting and level 65 crafting to combine them. On death in PvP, the necklace will split back into the 2 tradable components and be given to the PKer. You'll also be able to deconstruct the Eldritch Necklace yourself into the 2 tradable components to sell if you wish. So that's more for main accounts. I am an Iron Man. But it looks like this is pretty good. It looks like they basically they put the 65 rune crafting and 65 crafting to combine them. That way people can't just buy it outright if you have a fresh account. So you can trade the component to combine it with an occult, but you can't actually, make the Eldritch necklace unless you have 65 rune crafting and 65 crafting, which I think is fine. I think part of the issue with the occult is it's such a cheap neck slot for main accounts for magic, and it comes from Thermi, which honestly is not a hard boss whatsoever by any stretch of the imagination. So to have some sort of balance on this where, okay, you at least need to have your account progress with 65 rune crafting and 65 crafting to combine them isn't the worst idea. It seems a little arbitrary. Like, I would argue that for a best in slot mage necklace, you could even bump it up to, like, let's say 70 or 80 rune crafting and crafting, especially considering the Zenite jewelry has a pretty high crafting level, but I digress. These are the stats. With the Eldritch necklace, you'll gain the following over the occult necklace. So you'll get an additional 2% magic damage, an additional +1 prayer bonus, +8 magic attack, and +10 defense bonus across the board. You also will have to have cleared the 3rd delve level and have 80 magic. See, this is what I mean. If you need 80 magic, just bump the rune crafting to 80 and crafting to 80. It's honestly fine in my opinion, especially because the Zenite jewelry has such a high crafting requirement. Like, if I go to, let's see here. If we go to the Tormented bracelet, you need level 93 magic for the Tormented bracelet. So at that point, if this is, I mean, I guess it's a step down, but I look at it like the Rancor is a step up from the Zenite jewelry, and this is a step up from the occult, but you need a lower magic level than what the Zenite jewelry equivalent in the Tormented bracelet requires. So I think even the magic level you could bump up, but I'm not mad at 80 magic. That's fine, honestly. But I think the rune crafting and crafting level definitely needs, at least at an initial read through like this, I think that needs to be at least like 75, if not like 80 to 85, just so it's not something that early level accounts can grab. Not that a delve boss is going to be completed by any early irons, but for main accounts as well, I think your stats need to be high, a little bit higher than just 65 rune crafting and crafting. Thrall upgrade replacement. Since our last update, we want to clarify how we plan to replace the Thrall upgrade. We plan to include a teleport item as a tradable drop, which will make it easier to get back into the action. We're also considering a second tradable drop designed specifically for this encounter that will affect your experience with Osto Ayak itself. For example, an item when consumed takes you straight to delve level 3, skipping the early waves for that run. That seems kind of cool, I guess. It's just an accessibility feature. That way, you get a teleport item to just get back into the action at delve level 3. I think the only kind of inconsistency that I'm seeing with this, if they said we'd love to know your thoughts, although we won't be polling these additions. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. They can add that. I think the only inconsistency is the idea that this delve system is supposed to be like, okay, you finish, delve level 1, so now you're going to go on to delve level 2, and it's going to get harder, and you're going to kill it. Maybe you risk some of your loot for some better loot, and then, from there, you can get even more loot from after it's on delve level 1. And then you go to delve level 2, and then it gets harder, and then you go to delve level 3, and so on and so forth. So to kind of skip the first few, I mean, again, that's fine, I guess, but it seems inconsistent with the fact that, the point is that you kill it each time, and it gets harder each time, and it puts you at risk. If you can just skip to the 3rd level, right off the rip when you have that teleport, it just feels like, okay, you're just skipping the difficulty and just getting to the harder fight, without actually having to risk anything to get there, because you just have a teleport. So I don't hate the idea of having a teleport that puts you there, but it also seems kind of ingenuine to the idea of what this delve system is supposed to be. So, and then it just has a couple links to some of the other Varlamore Final Dawn rewards. That's a wrap for now, but we'll continue to monitor discussion on Discord, Reddit, and X as we get ready for the poll. Be sure to share your thoughts before then. Yeah, so I mean, the Thrall upgrade replacement is fine. To put the teleport there. I'm not gonna like cry about a teleport that puts you to delve level 3. It just seems ingenuine with the whole idea of what the delve system was supposed to be. Again, at least at an initial glance from how I'm reading it. The only other thing with the delve system is it's not infinite. It only goes to level 3, or to level 6, I believe. So if it was infinite and it just immediately put you at level 3, then it kind of feels more ingenuine versus just, okay, there's 6 levels and you can just start at level 3 once you get it. I'd also like to see how rare the teleport is. And that maybe if it's just it seems like if it's a tradable drop, maybe it's a consumable. If it's a consumable, I guess that's fine too, but if it's just a teleport that you can just immediately skip all of the waves at the start, then that kind of seems ingenuine, versus if it's just a drop that you can use occasionally to get to level 3, for a bit of quality of life on occasion, for some convenience, like here and there. So hopefully it's more of a consumable versus just a standard teleport drop, similar to like the DT2 teleports. I'd much rather it be a consumable. I think then, as long as it's rare enough where it's just a convenience thing here and there, then it's fine. This necklace I think is a great change. Like I said, the veil just seemed super inconsistent, and most people did not seem happy that it was like a tradable best in slot mage cape. So this necklace should be a lot better, and having an upgrade to an occult makes me just think that, okay, we got the Rancor, now we're getting the Eldritch necklace. Like, we're probably going to get an upgrade to the ranged necklace as well, which is kind of exciting, I guess. So it leaves space both for the best in slot mage cape, and it also leaves kind of like an anticipation for the upgrade for the ranged necklace. So that is the Varlamore the Final Dawn reward proposal updates. Again, this is the first ramble that I'm going to be doing in the series, so hopefully, follow along. Hopefully I'll post some more, and that'll be it. We got the mods at the bottom, the old school team, and, looking forward to seeing how the delve system works, trying to go for the necklace, the treads, the Aegis, and all the other good jazz. Thanks for watching, guys.